in the entirety of Squid Game. It was
Is it
amazing.
actually pretty good? Okay, because I can
It's
review it
amazing.
very, very soon. All right,
It's
guys.
my yeah.
This is the Cloud9 podcast, season 2, episode 5. Sorry, this came out a couple days later or a day later. I think it was Kafka's fault. He was with his wife, and he said he couldn't talk League because that's for nerds. That's exactly what he said.
Yep, you got me.
Oh my god! So you haven't been playing League like at all, haven't you?
That is well, no, I've been playing League recently for the last month and a half to 2 months ish. I came back after like a 3.5 month hiatus. Literally didn't watch a single game in the summer. Came back. I was like, all right, let me give this my best shot. And then I was decayed, right? So I hit Plat 1 again. I demoted out of Diamond. And then I was like, okay, let me just give it a shot. Pick up the simplest jungler I can. Found out randomly that a Mumu has 2 Qs. I'm like, okay, well, I don't know what the fuck's going on, but this shit's OP. And climbed up to Diamond 2. And that's where I'm at now. So
that's the thing is like when the LCS, LEC, LPL, and LCK concluded, like I realized to myself I probably should take a break before Worlds because like September is like the only month in like the league calendar year where there's just like nothing going on because every team is just preparing for Worlds. So like ever since November of 2018 when the channel started, I was just doing content consistently every single fucking year. And, you know, I realized to myself, I have to like kind of cut back. There were so many things I was trying out for the channel and nothing seemed to work until I condensed it down to just like things that actually people wanted to like and subscribe and like comment on. So that's why when I was looking at both channels, I was like, okay, what is this channel's purpose and goal? What is the content it's going to do? So I narrowed down the content to, you know, fucking so I wanted to make sure I focused on the LEC and the LCS. But like if people wanted to watch the other regions, that's fine too, because I watch them all anyway. You know, this was the only year to watch LCK a lot, not because it wasn't on YouTube, because I was just so busy, you know. So so now the content's going to be like Cloud9 podcasts. That'll be during the week. The LCS and LEC split weekly recaps, you know, which is like after the week is over, we talk about, you know, the fucking games throughout the week. And then any news will come up. News would be like, you know, if a player joins X team or a player joins this team. And then discussion videos, which is something we haven't really dabbled too much into, about talking like past worlds or like what could this team look like with X player. But discussion videos are usually something I wanted to dabble back into. It just depends on, you know, when. But most discussion videos will only take place during like the off season, you know. But most discussions are pretty much covered here too. So, you know, most of the content, you know, that I do on the channel is just like this show, the split weekly, this show and the split weekly recaps, which go on when the season's actually going, though, when the regular season is going between LCS and LEC, and then you have any news that pops up. So that's what only people viewed, liked, and subscribed for. So I was like, okay, I'm just only going to do this. You know, it took a lot of like trial and errors to like can figure out what the channel's thing is. Because like people would say do this, I would try it, didn't work. And I'm like, okay, I'm just only going to do this. And I'm going to focus on this. Because like the highest viewed videos on the channel, like news videos. And like that's how my first channel got big too, was just doing like news videos. Because someone said, why would you do news videos if everyone else is doing them though? I'm like, that's not how news works. Why do you think there's like several different news stations like ABC, NBC, CBS, CW, or no, it's like CW, KTLA5, you know? People just get news from different places, though. Doesn't really matter what it is as long as it's credible news. And I you know, dude, I only really go over the credible news sources anyways. So I'm not going over like, you know, some we got this covered shit fucking for League. But I mean, League's been interesting this year. The LCS, oh my goodness, and the LEC, whew, it's been a doozy. Did you hear about the rumor that Bjergsen might be coming back soon?
I did.
Yeah,
That'll be honestly, it's probably good for the league just in terms of viewership. But dude, I would love to see him get clapped by Perks. It's gonna be so much fun. It's actually gonna make TSM games fun to watch again.
Like I thought about it actually, and I was like, him coming back wouldn't be the worst thing ever. Because Warren had this like crazy idea that he would like roll swap the top. I'm like, no, dude.
Dude, invite Warren. I want to talk shit.
Why would you invite him to this? I think he's out at the gym right now. What is Warren doing? Let me invite him. Because, dude, like, Warren, why would he go to the top lane? Why would you waste such a good mid lane talent in the top lane? They have Huni. He's not played that bad. I think he's played overall fine for this year, right? I don't mind if players like not race swap. Oh my god, race swap. Role swap. I don't mind if players like role swap, but why would you waste Bjergsen's mid lane talent putting him in the top lane? That's like stupid. I would never
I
do
do
that.
think that him and his jungler are pretty bad synergy usually, but
always
I'd
had
say
bad
that Power
synergy
of
with junglers,
Evil
too.
is not much
Yeah.
better in terms of mid jungle synergy.
You see, that's what I initially thought going into this year was that Power of Evil and Spica would have better synergy than Bjergsen and Spica. Turns out it doesn't matter because
Dude, Spica's actually so good though. Like,
he's really good.
I
Yeah.
don't understand how the fuck they ended up getting a good jungler. I don't think he's better than Blabber. You know my opinions on Blabber. I haven't watched
Oh
a
man,
single game in
Blabber's
the
been
summer. I don't give a
Blabber's been
shit.
shitting. He's been shitting the bed. Shitting the bed
Okay.
hard, man.
I wouldn't know because I literally haven't watched since MSI. But I still think that back when it was MSI, like Blabber's mechanics were unreal, and he seems like he's playing pretty well in the play-in so far.
Yeah,
So
so far in the play-ins, he's actually played pretty solid. But like the issue here with the play-ins is like I expect them to beat up on these teams though. Like I really do. Like every year I expect them to beat up on these teams. So like these teams in the minor regions, right? It's so weird to talk about them because like the caliber of competition is so much worse in these minor regions that if they do face an NA team, 9 times out of 10 the NA team should be doing better because the caliber of players is just that much better though. Like the wildcard regions, people can say whatever they want about NA, but the NA team usually smacks them around, because they're just really not that good though. They have like one to few standout players generally, but they're really not that good though.
yeah, I agree. I am mostly excited about play-ins only because it's funny to watch Reddit and Twitter's reaction. They don't know how to make up their mind. They're like, see, if C9 doesn't make it out, we're a wild card region, right? But if we do make it out, apparently the play-ins gave us a buff and actually give us a better chance of getting out of groups. That's the fucking logic. The mental gymnastics. There's no in
between. There's no in between.
No.
These people are
There's no
fucking
winning.
nuts.
There's no winning for C9 basically. If you make it out, well, you just got a fucking unfair advantage because you went through play-ins and you got warmed up. And
you got the easy side of the bracket. Oh yeah.
Like you're literally going to be in the same group as FPX and Damn One, but no, it's actually easier for you now apparently. Okay, but yeah, I like watching them just absolutely demolish their competition right now. They're obviously way better than who they're playing against, and I was really worried about DFM because of MSI. Like I was really worried.
I wasn't though. Like I think a lot of people got to realize this too. That's just the nature of best of ones. Like that kind of thing is going to happen though. And Cloud9 beat them the second time around anyway, pretty convincing. But
the first time they lost, DFM had a support that was their coach. And this time around they had their full roster. And so I was really worried that, oh, holy shit, what if they're like better now? And what if we didn't actually get better? We got worse. But no, we didn't. We got much better.
But that's the thing though, is everyone likes to bring up that they lost to Dead Nation Focus Me, but they failed to bring up that Cloud9 smacked them around the next time they face. I see, like, that's the thing though, is like, yes, initially losing is like a shocker, but if they beat them the second time around, I mean, that's pretty much good as it is. And it's not like Dead Nation Focus Me made it out of that group,
Right.
Like no one brings up that shit. It's just so what's that word? It's just so counterintuitive though. Okay, so we're only gonna bring up when they lost, but we're not gonna bring up like when they won, which doesn't make any sense because in indirectly saying, they're just not as good as like Dead Nation Focus Me is what like Reddit would have probably made the assumption. Like the mental gymnastics that these people do on Reddit is fucking cancer. Like I cannot stand Reddit. That the amount of ass cancer that I got from reading those comments from when Sneaky got kicked off Cloud9 was just out of this world. And the same thing happened too with Cloud9. They were like, oh my god, yeah, Cloud9 is not gonna do well without Sneaky. And then they like pretty much stomped the next split without him. Oh well, it was an easy split though. No one was trying though. It's like what the hell, dude? It's like you can't win with these people,
Yep.
Oh my god. Oh my goodness. But yeah, I told Warren last show, Bjergsen would never go to top lane. That would make no sense. You would waste all of his talent. being in the top lane, and it just wouldn't make any sense, you know? Like, but that's the thing for TSM, before we move on to the other things, is like, imagine this for Power Vivo, right? Bjergsen retires. He's like, I can finally be on an NA team that has a chance of winning the competition and getting a trophy and going to Worlds, potentially going to MSI this year. Come to find out, they did fairly well for the regular seasons, though. They finished third in the LCS 2021 Spring Split regular season. They finished third. Then overall for the whole split, they finished third in the playoffs. Not that bad, right? Summer, they got first in the regular season for the LCS 2021 Summer Split regular season. And then in the playoffs, they got fourth. So they were just one spot away from making out on Worlds 2021, right? And that's something where it's like, why would you replace him, though? Like, I thought initially going in, when they got rid of Bjergsen because he retired, you would move on to another mid laner, because like TSM's only really ever had Reginald and Bjergsen, though. And it just feels like they lost this year, and they're like, okay, we got to just go back to what was working before, which is bringing Bjergsen, right?
I mean, that's what they did when the whole double lift out of TSM failed. They brought double lift back, and then he's just a shell of his former self. And yeah. I mean, that's just TSM. I fucking love it, dude. I'm so excited. I love watching.
Why can't they just work on what they have right here? It's like
because they're TSM.
Dude, it's like being in a relationship.
They have to win now.
How would I say this, though? It's like being in a relationship and you get out a toxic relationship, and then it's kind of scary being alone without like a new partner. So you go back to that partner who treats you bad because you're afraid of being alone. It's the same thing. It's like, yes, it's going to be hard without Bjergsen because you've had him for so long, but dude, try to build on something new, you know?
That entire management is literally just egomaniacs and clout chasers. Like, that's what it is. Like, you want to bring back Bjergsen because he's a big name. He's actually going to be probably like the number 3 mid laner in NA, I would think. So I think it's a good move to bring him back. I think it's an upgrade. But like, their entire management doesn't know how to actually build talent. They, generally speaking, get talent, deliver to them, and try their best to put as much talent on one roster as possible. That's their approach, generally speaking. So Lost is definitely out of there. If they can get someone like Reckless and Bjergsen, then obviously I think they're a top 3 team in NA. I think that they would edge out either Cloud9 or Team Liquid. Yeah. But the thing is, there's no guarantee. Like, they're actually a top 4 team, I would say, because 100 Thieves are not. It's not guaranteed that they'll be at the same level as they were this year, and that they won't be figured out. So I would say the top 4 is a guarantee for them if they bring back Bjergsen and get a top tier ADC. But if they don't, even if they just bring back Bjergsen and they have Lost, they're still a number 4 team. They're still only a number 4 team. They're not beating Cloud9. They're not beating Team Liquid, and they're not beating 100 Thieves without roster. With Bjergsen.
Potentially Bjergsen and Reckless, right?
If they get Reckless, then yeah, that's a massive upgrade.
Ooh, that's I don't know, man. Like, I don't know if Reckless would come here. That's the thing. And I know EU players
he's a cloud chaser too, though. I don't know.
But that's the thing, though, is a lot of the EU players that have said they would never come here did eventually come here. But Reckless said he got offers from TSM in 2017 when they, lost out of the group stage and shit like that, when they were in that off season, but they chose to go with Sven and Mithy, and like, people keep referring to that. That was like 4 years ago. His mind has probably changed. Like, I don't get this with people, dude. Like, I get something happened in the past, but the thing is, that was like 4 years ago. What if he's like, and NA's drastically gotten, well, quote unquote, weaker since then. So what's the point of coming here? Like, unless it's for money or potentially he just wants a new change of scenery, I don't see a point in coming over here. I just don't. There's no point in coming here when this region has completely weaker players. There's a much less ceiling where you can actually get better at the game. The team ceiling you'll have is going to be capped at a certain point. Like, I just think the EU players are just much better, though. And I know it's going to be hard hearing that for some people, but it's like, they are just better, though. It's just something that people have to swallow, though. They're just better. So why would he leave a just better region for someone that is completely worse in every single regard? Solo queue ping, the type of players you put on your roster, the mentality of the coaches, everything's just worse. You're
saying why would Bjergsen rejoin TSM? Then go to EU?
No, well, that's for Reckless. That's for Reckless.
Okay.
Like, there's
just
no
for
reason for
Reckless.
Reckless to come over here at all.
Because
He's
there's
just
no,
getting
yeah,
fucking worse. There's
I'll
no
give you a
actual
reason.
upgrade
I'll give
unless
you a
there's just
reason.
a player, right?
Worlds. Yeah, I'll give
It's
you a reason.
easier
Worlds.
making it world tier. Yeah, it is
Yeah.
easier making world tier. That's the thing.
Well, there's literally no team he can join in EU outside that he's able to join that would be able to make worlds. There's no way that Mad Lions are replacing Carzzy. There's no way that Upset is getting replaced.
Yeah.
And G2 is gonna be good next year. So
You think it was
like,
just a fluke this year when they were just
I
bad?
think Reckless was the issue. Yeah, I think that he was the best.
About that. Yeah, we talked about that too. Like, I just didn't think Reckless and Mickey X's synergy was good. I knew initially going in it wasn't going to be good. That's why I said Fnatic could out edge them, because Fnatic got upgrades in places that they needed from the previous year. Niski,
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't just Mickey's synergy. I think Yanko's synergy with Reckless is also really bad. Like playing towards bot when you have a Caps on your team makes absolutely no fucking sense at all. Like you want to play around Caps. You want to be the ADC that can survive on his or her own and let Mickey roam and let Yankos play around the mid lane and snowball through mid. But I don't know, especially in the playoffs. Like I hated their picks. I hated their drafts. I don't know. It was a massive mess. And I looked at that and I was like, the fact that Reckless looks good is mostly due to the fact that they're playing through him and he's not able to carry. So I did not think that he was a good fit for what G2 wanted to do.
Like, dude, that's what I told people though, was like this year with the LEC. This year was a chance for any org to win when G2 failed. And to be fair, it's not their fault G2 started failing. And I told my friend this too, because my friend's like, well, if an org builds a super team, they're pretty much guaranteed to win. No, they're not. There's no guarantee it's going to work. It's just that you have a higher chance of winning though if you have a super team. That's all it gives you. It just gives you higher chances though, because I told people this. I thought Upset was better than Reckless. And it showed this year when I said that. I know people ragging me like, how is Upset better than Reckless? Who's at Worlds right now and who's sitting at home on their fucking computer jacking off?
True.
Obviously, like Upset was completely much more better synced up in Hylissang than when Reckless was synced up with Hylissang. Reckless and Hylissang really never played that well in lane together. Hylissang, in my own personal opinion, made up the difference. And then I thought, okay, if Upset's going to be on Fnatic with Hylissang, that's going to be much better for them. They got a direct upgrade in an ADC player and in a synergy part of their team. And they got Niski as well, who's a much more better team player. Also, it helped out the fact that Niski himself also played a whole lot better this year as well. Like he just, with the caliber competition, played a whole lot better. So they got
Niski played amazing.
Yeah,
Niski played so well.
They lost Selfmade, got Bwipo, and then Bwipo was okay for them. And they got
Dude,
Adam.
yeah, Bwipo Niski somehow worked out, but honestly, Niski and Hylissang hard smurfed in the playoffs. Hard smurfed. And I don't know, like it must have been like, you know how everyone calls Hylissang coin flippy? Dude, he must have flipped wrong a bunch of times before because he was flipping right all the time in the playoffs. Holy shit, dude. It was coming up heads every time.
When we talked about Hylissang in the spring, he looked like garbage in the spring. He looked like complete
Dude, that's
trash.
what I was saying. I think he just played his karma dues and now he's like flipping heads every single time. We'll see if it pays off at Worlds.
I think Fnatic can get out of the group. There was last
year. Dude, this is the fucking meta for Fnatic. It's so good for Fnatic right now.
Yeah.
Dude, you look at like Talon jungle, Jarvan, tops, and fucking Talia jungles, and Leona, Mumu bot lanes. Like everything about this meta suits Fnatic and FPX the most. Like those, I haven't told you this, but I think FPX is my favorite to win Worlds this year. But yeah,
what?
Dude, I can't.
No way. They're not better than Damwon. You're out of your mind.
Oh, they're way better than Damwon. I can't wait. I can't wait to.
What did Doinby's wife pay you to say this propaganda on my stream?
Okay, well, here's my reasoning, okay? Doinby is my take on the best player in at Worlds this year. I think Doinby is the best player at Worlds. Okay, Chovy doesn't count. He's in play-ins. If Chovy not included, Doinby is the best player at Worlds this year.
You don't think Showmaker is right there next to him?
Yeah, he's right there next to him. Yeah, okay. I would take Showmaker number 2 if Chovy's not allowed to be in there. It would be Doinby and Showmaker. But Doinby is my style of League of Legends, dude. This guy is such a fucking brilliant savant. Showmaker's better mechanically, without a doubt. But Doinby is so fun to watch, dude. the way that he plays the game, especially with his jungle, is just it's peak League of Legends. I think that FPX is literally FPX's mid jungle is better than any other mid jungle in at Worlds, including Showmaker, including Damwon, like as a whole. Canyon is great. Nah, not compared to Doinb.
My thing here is okay. Nuguri's better than Khan. Canyon's better than Tien. I think Showmaker would edge out Doinb, but they're about even if you want to see how they play. Both of them play a specific role for their teams, which is just about even, though. So I would probably leave those guys at even, and it just all goes to the bot lane. Ghost and Barrel versus LWX and Crisp. I think you give it edge to Damwon's bot lane. I think you do. It just depends on the meta.
Right? Okay, but here's the thing. It's fine. I'll give the edge to Damwon's bot lane. Here's the thing, dude. How the fuck are you going to tell me that Nuguri isn't going to gap Khan? In what universe?
One trick, because Khan's only been basically a one trick all year.
It pissed me off.
Scion and Gnar all year long.
Nuguri was the best part besides Showmaker of Damwon when he was on Damwon. They left. He left. He joined FPX, and now he's the second best part of FPX.
Yeah.
Like he will go 0-2 in lane and then hard carry the game. Like I absolutely believe in Nuguri.
Doinb is like one of the few top laners I've ever seen, minus the Shy when he was in his fucking peak form. Where like even if he's down in the game, he still is a very, very huge threat. And initially, when like they did the switch right into Nuguri for Khan, I'm like, that is indirectly going to make Damwon weaker, though. They are getting a weaker top laner, which means there'll be a weaker team in general. FPX are becoming a decently strong team with Nuguri because they had what? Because they had Khan last year and they had Gimgun and they did not make Worlds. So,
dude, also, I don't. This meta is so good for FPX. As I said, FPX and Fnatic. I think that this meta suits them so well because you need a mid laner that's going to unlock the rest of the map, and I think it suits FPX's style so fucking well right now. Because I don't know if you've seen the changes to the second tier turrets. Now they give more gold and things along those lines. But dude, I think second rift is so important now that people are going to start to realize that the early to mid game transitions, if you don't have them down to a science, you can lose the game in the first like 7 minutes of the game. It's actually insane right now. And if you have a strong mid jungle, you can control the early 7 minutes of the game. So I think it's going to be all about mid jungle this Worlds, and I challenge you, like, what mid jungle is better than FPX's? That's what I'll say, or like comparable. Yeah.
The only ones that I would say comparable are Canyon and Showmaker, and that's probably the only one that I can think about right now. Because like the RNG jungler with Crying, they don't really play together that much.
No, RNG lives. I think RNG lives and dies by Xiaowu. Like I think
that that's the thing.
It's like and I mean I believe in Xiaowu. He's nuts. He's really good. But
I mean I was gonna say Closer and Abadage, but then I'd be smoking crack.
All right, you're fucking high. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'd love to say Perks and Blabber too, but that's I'd be smoking it.
Niski and Whipple have pretty.
That's what I said.
Synergy. Yeah,
I think they have great synergy. That's why I said I think Fnatic is underrated as fuck.
That's the thing, though. Let me go look at the groups again for the main event. Because I think it's only just Canyon, Showmaker, Doinb, and Tien that have the best mid-jungle synergy. But remember, like Blabber, he's been playing more towards Fudge recently. Blabber's like, I can't play with Perks. His playstyle's not meshing with mine. I'm just going to go top lane and play with this guy.
Dude. Yeah, I think Fudge is... Okay. Dude,
they had so many issues in summer, dude, with Perks and fucking Blabber playing trash together.
Oh, really? Yeah, see, again, guys, terrible. Anyone that's watching, I haven't watched a single game of LCS in the summer. Not a single one, okay? The first series I watched was Cloud9 versus TSM, and that's all I got. I got MSI, and then I got that series.
But even if you just base it off that series alone, they played pretty bad together in that series. Together as a whole, they played really bad. But now, they did play better recently with these playing games, because they're what, like, they're 3-0 right now, aren't they? And I know people were like, oh my god, they're 3-0 against wildcard teams. Yes, because they're much better than them. I don't really know what, like, that's not surprising though. It's like, how do I explain to people though? If you have a better team than mine, you should always win. Not like, but I guess with League of Legends, it does depend on meta or the day itself. But like 8 times out of 10, you have a better shot at winning than me because your caliber of players are just much better than mine. I can literally throw a fucking kitchen sink at you and it wouldn't matter because your players are just much better. You know, why don't most people think about this? Why do most of the best teams that always win have mostly the best players in every single position?
Well, of
I
course.
get like sometimes you have like an average player here or there.
Wait,
Like
wait. If by that logic though, why is C9 not the best team from NA?
that's the thing though, because there's other caliber of players to match them too. You can always have other caliber players to match you too. But just when it comes to like the wild card regions compared to like NA, more or less so our teams are better than theirs. You know, our caliber of
Okay, I
competition
mean,
is much better.
is Closer is Closer much better than Blabber in your opinion? Or are
Not
they
by much.
comparable?
About
Okay.
if you rate it out of 10, Closer's probably like a 8, Blabber's probably like a 7, maybe.
So then who on 100 Thieves gaps C9?
Okay, this is not about gapping. It's more like the competition is about even, you say, right? So Abadage matches into Perks very well. FBI matches into Sven pretty well. Vulcan edges out Huhi, right? And who's
I
the
would
top
say
one?
everyone is comparable, but then Fudge hard gaps someday. So by
Yeah,
that logic, I would say that individual strength wise, C9 actually has the best roster on paper.
but that's when it comes into league. It's about like being good on the
Yeah,
day.
that's what.
Yeah,
That's
that's the thing.
no, no, no.
Yeah.
It's not about being good. I think it's more about their synergy all together as one, and whether or not they're greater than the sum of their parts. And I think 100 Thieves are actually like when they played against C9 and Team Liquid, I thought that they played at the peak level that they could possibly play at, and they won because they played very well together. And Closer had the best day of his fucking life against Team Liquid.
Also,
I swear to
didn't help
God.
it didn't ban out Viego and fucking gave him his best champion Lee Sin game
Yeah,
3.
and
It didn't
so
help either.
I think out of all the NA teams, and this is definitely C9 bias, I know. I think that C9 has the highest potential and the lowest floor. I think their variance
Yeah.
is higher than any other team that NA sent. But if C9 plays like fucking peak level C9, like World's Perk shows up and stays there and doesn't leave, dude, this team could absolutely go to the quarterfinals. Like they could definitely get out of groups, 100%. Okay, can they get out of groups against FPX Day one? Wait. Okay, maybe they can't get out of groups, but any other group besides Group A, they can get out of.
But that's the thing though, because like I bring this up too with people, and it's like, well, they're like, well, Fnatic got World Finals, yes, but it doesn't really matter though. Yes, it's good for them that they made finals. I'm not discrediting that, but they still lost to the much better team though. Like IG was better than them, you know. Yeah, they did beat them in the group stage 2 games, but that really doesn't matter though. Like, you know, because teams generally ramp up when it moves as the tournament progresses, right? More or less so teams always generally tend to ramp up though. It's like if I beat your team 2 games in the regular season in football and then you beat my team in the Super Bowl, well, what really matters though? You know, yeah, I beat you in the regular season, but it didn't matter when it came to the finals though. You see, that's that, or even last year too. Damwon's team was just much better than Suning by a pretty substantial margin. Not by, well, yeah, it was by a pretty big margin though, to a certain extent. Or like in 2019, you know, if PX won, they're
Damwon this year is not the same as Damwon last year, though.
That's the thing,
not.
though. Yeah, God, it breaks my soul.
They're just not. They're not. They're not unstoppable. They're not like
what do you
gods.
Think? What do you Faker miracle run to the finals?
I'd love to see it, but no fucking shot, dude. The rest of his fucking team, you don't even know who's gonna play. That entire management staff pisses me off. They can never stick with one fucking roster. So I don't know.
I don't know if you peep the Damwon versus T1 finals for the LCK 2021 summer split, but Faker was trying his best to get this team doing something. Like when he was playing Azir, and I think game 1 of that finals, he was making all types of plays around the map. Azir ults, trying to just force plays, and it was working out. They looked pretty competitive in one of the first games, but it just didn't help. Like I don't know what this team can do. Like Teddy and Gumayushi are good players though. Kyrie is like he's been struggling recently, and then you have like Cuz, and he's just been inting it. I don't know who they're gonna play in jungle, Owner or Cuz. I think they have them both right. Or cause forgot you didn't watch the LPL that much though. Actually, what about Did you watch any of the LEC games with Rogue? Actually, did you
yeah,
keep any games?
I watched LPL and I watched LEC, but only the playoffs.
Okay, so for Rogue, do you think they got screwed again?
Dude, I didn't. I don't understand what the narrative was on Rogue, but they did not play well at all from what I saw in the playoffs.
Chokers.
Apparently, I don't. Yeah, so I don't actually know how they played in the regular season because I never watched it. But in the
They played pretty
playoffs,
good,
they
actually.
did.
They got first place. They actually played pretty good.
Yeah, apparently they were really good in the regular season then. But
That's true.
I when I watched them in the playoffs, they didn't play well at all. Like there's nothing about them that I was like, oh wow, this could be scary. Like
Mhm.
Larson was very mediocre the entire playoffs. Like I was like, this guy was supposed to be the next
Yeah.
like Burks Caps or whatever. I
Mhm.
did not see that at all. So I don't know. Oda Wamne was the only like shining light that I
The
could see.
thing the thing with Rogue is that even looking at last year, because did you watch the LEC last year when they got first place in the regular season
Yeah,
for
yeah,
summer?
of course. Yep,
I
yep,
even
yep, yep.
told my friend, this because he took me to the store. I'm like, if Rogue lose to Fnatic and they got first place and that dog shit Fnatic team was doing like pretty bad that split, Rogue lost to that team.
Oh
Rogue
yeah, no,
lost to that
I said
dog
last year
shit
Rogue
team.
sucked.
Yeah,
I thought Rogue was really overrated last year, and I was
mhm.
like, literally, it's just Larson and Inspired. I don't understand what the hype is behind this team. This year, I don't know. Oda Wamne is probably an upgrade, and so like they were probably better. I don't know enough
You have
to make a
Trimby,
comment on
who's
it.
better as a mechanical support than Vander, but it's like
Yeah,
you're
I
taking
was
away a
never big on them.
leader.
I was
But
never
you're
big
taking
on them
away a
last
leader
year.
on the team, though, right? You like
Yeah,
I get what they were trying to do. You upgrade top lane to Otawamne, good player, but then you take away your leader when it's like Vander and Otawamne have had some success when they play together, you know?
yeah, yep.
So
I mean,
that's
we'll
my thing
see.
though. I think they just needed a top lane change and they would have been perfectly fine. But the thing with Rogue is that choking is such a hard thing to talk about because it's like, is it choking or did a team just get exposed for how bad they really are? Just did they just look better at a certain point? You know, I don't know. It's really hard to really talk about those kind of things because
Yeah.
you'll never really know. You're just basically basing
Does
on speculation.
does Inspired still play shit like even stuff?
I think he does. Oh, I haven't checked his games recently. Let
Because
me
I'm
see.
curious. Because like if he is really good in this meta, it could
Mhm.
be interesting. I know that Larson and him aren't like perfect in terms of synergy, but if he plays shit like Kiana, Talon, and Evelyn, then this might be the meta for him.
Yeah, okay, guys, we have some news that I want to go over before I talk about obviously Cloud9's games because they are undefeated right now. I feel, so happy about that, but I gotta temper my expectations though, because it is the play-ins. They are playing against one would say severe worse caliber than them. But what's that Russian team, that Turkish team? Galatasaray? Is that yeah, they're not that
L
bad though.
GS,
Galatasaray. Yeah, GS, they're
whatever.
not that bad though. They're actually not that bad, actually. So
I don't know. Maybe we'll see.
we'll
They
see.
were good on the first day.
I never take first day stuff. I've learned my lesson over the course of like all these many years. Never take first days as an indication of team strength. Never do that. You know how people always say
I
those
think they're
weakness
good in
predictions?
terms of. I think they play well as a team. I'll give them that, I guess. But dude, they make such terrible decisions. I would say that their biggest advantages are that they understand how to fucking draft. They really do, and they play decently as a team. But I think that they're really bad players mechanically. Like there's some really cringe shit that happened even on the first day. That was like, okay, you can't fuck this shit up. This is like the
Don't
most
worry.
basic stuff. Like if you gank on one side of the map, the other side of the map has to play safe, right?
Mhm.
Like the most basic shit they can't even do. So I don't know. I'm not
Let
very
me.
high on them. I'm actually
Yes.
pretty high on DFM. I think they're gonna be the other team to.
It's just
I think
fate
they'll
that
be number two.
Cloud9. It's just fate that Cloud9 and Dead Nation Focus Me go against each other in the play-ins. Basically, at this point, it's just fate. They're just fated
Yeah,
to battle each other. North
I'm
America
excited.
versus
I
Japan.
think DFM is actually like a good story. I think Arya is really good.
What was that one player that I saw his games today? What's his name? Eva. Yeah, she's not that bad. Like some of these play-in players are not that bad. That's what I always say for the play-ins. If some of these players like stand out, they could get offers from major regions. So it is good to take the play-in seriously if you're one of these players from the minor regions because you could get picked up. It's shown for the past couple of years, players have been picked up if they play well, though. Now, whether or not they're successful in these major regions is debatable. But I wanted to talk about G2 Esports for all you guys that didn't get a chance to peep my news video when I covered the news about this. Let me just make this a bit bigger and may make sure you guys can see this. Sources: Reckless and G2 Esports to part ways. Team holding tryouts for ADC replacement. Reckless won't play for the European powerhouse next year. Is this surprising to you that potentially they might be getting rid of Reckless, actually?
It's surprising in the fact that they know that they're going to downgrade and they're still getting rid of him. Like there's no one that they're going to be able to replace him with that's an upgrade, unless they get like a Korean import or something.
You don't think Karzi or Hansama would be better?
Karzi is not going to leave. There's no way.
I mean, he might become a free agent after Worlds, though. Might be.
That could be interesting. I mean, if Karzi
resigns.
joins G2, that would be fucking wild. Because I actually think that in that situation, Mad Lions would probably pick up Reckless.
Oh, fuck. Well, Reckless would go to the team that just won the titles. Oh my god.
Yeah, dude. I don't think that Karzi would want to leave. I mean, it all depends on how they do at Worlds, I guess. But I think that Karzi is better than Reckless. So I think that if he wants to leave, just because he wants to change in scenery, that's the only reason I would see that Reckless would stay in EU. And G2 would pick up an EU.
Carlos said that they wanted to make some changes, though. He was going to make big changes, though. And by big changes, that means getting rid of players that have been with G2 for so long. Like I told people before, dude, Wonder and Yankos and Grabs have been with G2 since 2018. Yeah, they've had success. They've had insane success, right? MSI title, winning a bunch of titles for G2, World's Finals, World Semifinals. They did the upset against RNG, you know? But like that's in the past though. Like, and I know that sucks to hear that for a lot of people, but that is in the past though. You gotta focus on the right now, and they did not play well all year. Like Wonder played like dog shit all year. Yankos played bad in the spring, bounced back in the summer. Caps looked pretty bad all year, outside of like both playoffs for spring and summer. Mickey X just looked like dog shit all year, for the most part. And Reckless I don't think he was MVP for fucking spring. I thought there was much better players. First thing you could have chosen, like, I don't know, Treats, who was literally solo carrying SK Gaming.
If I'm G2, the two places I want to switch are ADC and top lane. I would not touch jungle at all. Maybe they touch support, but I would not touch jungle mid at all. I mean, Caps has to stay, obviously, but
they already signed. Caps is the only confirmed signed player, though.
Yeah, I would not touch Yankos. I think that is disaster waiting to happen. Like, if you switch out that many parts and Caps is your only stable point, I really don't think that G2 has it to make it out to Worlds. Like, that's too many changes at once. I think you change one variable at a time. You start with maybe Mickey, or you start with Wonder, but you keep the rest of it the same.
G2 Esports AD carry Reckless will not return to the League of Legends team next year. Sources familiar with that decision told Esports. G2 is now in the process of selling his contract, which ends in November 2023. Over the past couple of weeks, G2 has informed its players, staff, and others close to its league squad about Reckless's imminent departure, sources said. The relationship between G2 and Reckless is frayed after a season that saw the European dynasty fail to earn a spot in the World Championship for the first time since it qualified for the continent's top league. Reckless was set to attend the 2021 World Championship Group Draw Show on September 22nd to represent G2 as a special guest, but at the last minute, and as a result of tense negotiations between the two, the ADC didn't participate, according to sources. Instead, G2 arranged for jungler Yankos to replace him. With the relationship between Reckless and G2 set to end, Team Vitality is one of the teams that expressed interest in the star AD carry, according to sources. At first, G2 wasn't willing to talk to other orgs while it was deciding the future of Reckless, but after choosing to go in a different direction for next season, G2 was open to discuss the transfer of the 25-year-old, sources tell Esports. Reckless's future in Pro League remains uncertain. His next team is undecided and no option has been discarded yet. Even China's League Pro League could end up being his new home since there's mutual interest in this happening, according to sources. North America and Europe are still big possibilities for Reckless, though. G2 is holding extensive ADC tryouts with several European regional league bot laners among the list, as reported by Esports on September 21st. But a possible replacement for Reckless has not been chosen yet. G2 and Reckless will part ways after a disappointing year in which they earned as the clear favorites. In which they entered as the clear favorites in the LEC, but ended up without a spot at Worlds. Reckless's move from Fnatic to G2 in November 2020 marked one of the largest transactions of that offseason when he replaced Perks, who moved across the Atlantic to Cloud9, but G2 didn't win in the but G2 didn't win the LEC in either split in 2021. Whew. The German organization is expected to undergo a major restructuring this fall, with top laner Wonder support Mickey X and head coach Grabs also likely leaving the team. As reported by Esports, G2 is expected to rebuild around mid laner Caps, who's now signed through the end of 2023, and Yankees, its veteran jungler.
Good. That's what I was saying.
Update, September 29th, 10:55 a.m. CT. After publishing this report, Esports learned more about the handling of Reckless's transfer to another team. G2 initially wasn't open to negotiating with other organizations, while the team was eternally deciding what to do with the veteran ADC, sources tell Esports. But after the team came to the decision to go in another direction for 2022, G2 was willing to talk with all other teams about potentially moving Reckless, according to sources. This article has been updated to reflect this information. Good job, Dot. Okay, so I always use them. Okay, so
who got the article?
Pablo
Suarez. Cool.
Yeah.
Thanks, Pablo.
Good job, Pablo. Pablo and Jacob Wolf work for Esports now. Incredible information where it goes at. So everybody knows me. I love G2 and I love Cloud9. But if you have to ask me as a biased fan of theirs, yeah, you kind of need to move some pieces around because it's just not working out, man. Like, it's literally just not working out. And I told people this before. People were like, well, if you like your team, why not just give your team another chance for another year? People need to factor this in, dude. It's not just 1 year that people need to think about. It's like, okay, so with League, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. Get your team together, right? Beginning of the year, right? You scrim, you play 9 weeks. Well, LEC is 8, so let's just count this LEC, right? You scrim almost every single day. You have like your days off, right? So scrim 5 days a week, right? You play your stage games 8 weeks on end. Then if you make the playoffs, you play the playoff games. Depending on how far you go, you make the finals. And let's say you lose the finals. That's a lot of games you just played from January all the way to like March or some shit. Then if you make him aside, you play all of them aside up until the point where you maybe get in semifinals or finals, you get knocked out. They're still playing a lot of games though. Traveling, scrims, summer, rinse, repeat, scrims, weekly stage games, playoffs, finals, then worlds. It's not just 1 year. People have to factor in. These guys are together playing a lot of League together, you know? And what if Reckless's personality just isn't what they need, though? Reckless's personality is not probably someone that synergizes with their personality, though. Just having fun. They like to have fun, and they're good at League of Legends, and they win, right? It's like personality clashes, though. Like, our personalities match up. Like, with me, yours, Warren's, and EO's, right? When we doing still doing shows together, right? But if I brought someone in that doesn't match that vibe, that's going to be off, though. You know, you have to build up a team that has matching vibes, though. I knew, I didn't know. I had a slight feeling going in Reckless's personality wouldn't work, though. Because remember, Caps left Fnatic when they won both titles that year and went to World Finals. He left for a reason. He literally said, I'm quoting verbatim here, he said, players on the teams on Fnatic did not want to like change up. They wanted to just play the same. Who was he talking about? Come on, people. Who was he really talking about? He wasn't talking about Bwipo or Soaz, because Bwipo or Soaz are very, very flexible. I know for sure he wasn't talking about Broxa, because Broxa could play like, I don't know, pretty much anything, and he can switch between styles, right?
Actually, he could play anything, and he could never play any style, but yeah, he's not very flexible in that regard.
So either he's talking about Brox or he's talking about Reckless, because we know for sure he's not talking about Hylissang. Hylissang is the most unflexible player he will ever find. Yeah. This guy will literally play anything. So who's he talking about? He's talking about Reckless. More or less we're talking about Reckless, though, because he said he liked playing with Broxa, though, but he has to say that because that's like public perception, right? But why would Caps leave Fnatic after he won both titles, did well at MSI with Fnatic, and went to World Finals, though? What's the actual?
Because he's a fucking wild man that wanted to put his best competition at ADC and just try it. No, you're right. I mean, Reckless and him just didn't.
They just gel. The vibe of G2, the vibe that they have with Perks, is not the same vibe that they have with Reckless, though. You could tell in their games, though. I don't know if people actually watch their voice comms. That should look like these guys were scared of literally doing anything, and it's not G2, though. And
Agreed.
it's not just Reckless though, and it's not just him, but it's like having that type of personality change will indirectly affect a team like that. It's not him as a player though. I think he played fine, right? But he's never gonna be an X factor. He is never going to like make the harsh play. He is never going to put himself in a advantageous position where he dies. It's just not gonna happen.
That's true. I agree with that.
So I don't know, man. Like he's not the player they need. And this is going.
You know who needs Reckless right now? TSM. TSM needs Reckless. Rigid player that won't budge, surrounded by rigid mid laner that won't budge. Oh, I can't wait to see Spica deal with that. Oh my god. Spica's gonna be torn in a new asshole. I want to see it happen.
Like, man, I don't know, dude. It's just okay. So before we move on to talk about the other things, what do you think about Reckless leaving G2?
I think that it makes sense for both parties. I think that Reckless is a phenomenal player in his own individual way, but I think you have to build around him, and he's a systems player where I think that he would fit pretty well with a mindset like someone like Bjergsen, but I don't think he would fit well at all with a management team that wants or demands certain things. I think that he's a very he'll learn one style and he'll play that style better than anyone else. But if you ask him to deviate and be really creative, I don't think that's who Reckless is. And G2 as a whole is literally known for being super creative. They find ways to play the game that no one else can play, right? And if you want a template for G2 to play game after game after game, they're not G2 anymore. And that's what Reckless wanted to do, and I think that's why he's not on the roster anymore. So I think it makes sense for both teams.
The style that Jankos, Wonder, Caps, and Mickey X want to play is not the style that Reckless wants to play.
Right.
Like you can tell in their gameplay, they have a completely different way of playing the game. Just 4 players to 1. That's a big gap right there. And Mickey X himself did not look the same. Like no one's going to tell me a great support like Mickey X, who was literally touted as like the best support in EU, just got completely worse over an entire year. That is some insanely huge shit if that happens, right? Where like one of the best supports in Europe just went to the dog shit. Like it's not just him. He did not play like he himself did not make himself become like the worst player though. It has to be between bot lane synergy that is not matching there, because bot lane is like, well, a marriage. You have to move together as one. You know, you have to. It's like dancing. When you're with your girlfriend, potentially somewhere, maybe in a club, where she's twerking on you. You know, you move as one, right?
Right, exactly.
Kofta, what do you know about going to bars and back in the day when you were dating?
Dude, I still go to bars. I live in fucking Chicago, dude. Rooftop bars, fucking lit. They cost like $110 now, but Jesus Christ, they're so lit.
Oh my god. Oh, but you wanted to go over Cloud9's game today. Wasn't this the Cloud9 game where he played Trinamir? Yeah, I watched this game live. I was only going to watch live, actually. Today, he was, Perks is over here popping off on that Trinamir.
Yeah, popping off and then also not popping ult. But yeah. I don't know if you saw that.
$11 million for. Oh, I saw that. That's when I went to sleep. I was like, okay, this game's over. Cloud9's going to win. He's actually just fucking around. Remember Chovy got that solo kill on Aurelia for Tallywhacker? And he had fucking flash up? He greeted 4 CS.
I think this is. I think that this draft is actually so tilting because I have no idea why the fuck you would pick Jarvan first. Makes absolutely no fucking sense whatsoever.
What's this Jarvan priority, man?
I think that they wanted to flex it so that he could go jungle or top, but everyone knows that Blabber's never gonna fucking play Jarvan. That's not a Blabber champion. Are you kidding me?
Wait, Blabber? No, he didn't pick Jarvan this game, right?
No, he picked Talia, didn't he? Yeah, that's what I mean. But they first picked Jarvan. Jarvan went top.
Oh, you're right. Oh my god, sorry. You are correct. Oh my goodness. I didn't see that. There's an ad there. Sorry about that.
No, that's fine. The first pick was Jarvan. And I was like, okay, wait, you're trying to say that this can go both top and jungle, but everyone knows Blabber's not going to play fucking Jarvan. That's not going to happen. Like, that's not a Blabber champion, you know? So, like, when you first pick the Jarvan and the enemy team knows that it's Jarvan top, it puts your best player on a matchup where he can't actually carry. Like, Fudge is the best player on C9, in my opinion, right now. And that I didn't like at all. Everything else about this game, I fucking loved. Like
Mhm.
everything else about this draft is perfect. Talia is my favorite jungler at Worlds this year. I think she's extremely underrated. Um, People have like really random prios over her. Like people think that Lilia's better as an AP threat. People think fucking Evelyn is better as an AP threat. Um, yeah,
Mhm.
I don't know. There's a bunch of
I wanted
people
to
that.
ask you this because you probably read the patch notes a bit more than I did. I read them a little bit. So Lucian is back in the bot lane, right?
Mhm.
Did he get buffs actually?
Lucian's only strong in my opinion with Nami, but yeah, he did
Yeah,
get
Nami
buffed.
started to get banned. Okay, Nami's been being banned out. So
Well,
what happened to
Nami and
Nami?
Lucian as a combo is good. Nami and Lucian need to be picked together. I wouldn't pick Lucian unless it is with Nami or maybe Rakan, I guess.
Mhm.
Slightly, but like Nami's I think better than Rakan.
And then Amumu supports come back. So what's the deal with that?
So Amumu is pretty much Leona, but slightly better and slightly worse in different ways. So
It's basically
Amumu
two
is
sides
a
of the same
better
coin, right?
Leona. Well, Amumu is better than Leona unless the
Mhm.
enemy team has an MF. If the enemy team has an MF, you want to pick Leona so that you can ult when MF ults to
Mhm.
counteract the MF ult, right? Because the range of Leona ult is greater than MF ult. So as
True.
soon
Mhm.
as MF hits R, you hit R. So it's situational. There's a lot of things that are in support that are, in my opinion, not broken. There's a lot of balance in the support role. And I think there's a lot of balance in the jungle role too. Here's where I think that this entire world's patch is going to be decided. I think that AP junglers that
Mhm.
have a high early game prio are going to be extremely, extremely, extremely desirable, and that's why I think Talia is like my one of my favorite junglers because I think AD solo laners are OP as fuck. So Tryndamere, Graves, um, Jarvan I don't like at all, but he works. Jace, Irelia, um, Talon jungle is, in my opinion, Talon and Kiana and Zed jungle
Zed.
are not very strong because
Mhm.
they force you to play an AP mid or top. If you can get yourself an AD mid and an AD top that are
Mhm.
strong, like Tryndamere and Jarvan,
Mhm.
then you round that out with an AP jungler like Talia, the game is over. Like you will win the game. Like that's how strong of a draft
So I
that
wanted
is.
to ask you this too. Since we have assassins coming back, like Talon and Zed, right? Do you
Mm.
think those are actual viable picks? Because to really execute Talon and
No,
Zed at the highest level, the player playing that has to have such a high mechanical skill level
dude,
to
if
make it such a huge gap. That's what
no,
I think
that's what I'm
personally.
trying. So I don't think that they're good picks early on. Like they will
Okay, okay.
fit into certain comps. So like if you get an MF, if you get an MF Amumu on red side, right? Because
Hmm.
okay, let's start from the beginning. The
Okay.
first pick wise, there are certain first picks on blue side that are very, very good to go for. Things along the lines of Irelia, Tryndamere, um, maybe Rise. No, probably not. No, I would say Irelia and Tryndamere are, in my opinion, like really, really great first picks because I think Tryndamere can be flex top and mid, and I think he's the strongest champion in the game right now. But you don't want to pick MF early on blue side. She's good enough to pick first on red side if you can pair her immediately with a jungler like Kiana or another AoE support like a Mumu. So if you're on red side, you want to prio MF plus AoE. And if you can do that, then basically on your third pick, you can go something like Talon. Because Talon is going to enable you to snowball the early game, but that's all it's going to do. There's no late game insurance. You have to have someone like an MF or uh, something else to round out the comp. Do you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So yeah, that's my take basically. The first, if you're on blue side, you can't
Hmm.
really go MF. If you're on red side, you have to go MF. And if you're on blue side, you want to really go for a AD carry in the top or mid and an AP jungler carry and try to snowball off of bot. That's my take on the meta right now.
Okay. Because like you also had Silas come back, and Silas has gotten a lot more priority as well.
Uh-huh. But because there's so many AoE ults. That's why Silas is so strong right now. Like a Mumu ult is amazing to steal. Leona ult is amazing to steal. Fucking MF ult is amazing to steal. There's so many. there's so many good ults to steal, pretty much. That in the meta, that Sylas has somehow become first pickable, second pickable on red side.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think that some people's Sylas priority is a little too high. I would say C9 has an insanely good Sylas player, which is why they prio Sylas really highly. But yeah, I still think that the main thing that's going to determine this meta is who gets the harder carry AD mid and jungle.
Okay, so today with Perks' Tryndamere pick, do you think that's a decent counter to Sylas though?
No, Sylas is a decent counter to Trend.
Okay, so you think Perks literally just played Tryndamere, so it would just synergize with the comp better?
I think he played Tryndamere because he's the strongest champion in the game. I think Tryndamere is the most OP champion at Worlds right now.
Okay, so that's why you picked it, not just because the team is just an OP champion in general.
Tryndamere just does everything. He team fights well. He split pushes well. He gets
also, if he gets fed early on, the game's over. If he gets fed early on, it's GG.
It's unreal. I don't think that he has. I don't want to say he doesn't have weaknesses because he doesn't have range, but like he has no exploitable weaknesses as long as your team is playing around him.
The chicken on your head and he slows you down, so he can pretty much immobilize.
He can chase you. He can't. Yeah. He can't. Yeah, like obviously, like you've played against Tryndamere's in
a lot, and I lost to him a
league.
lot.
Like yeah, so you can play you can play shit like Malphite and stuff to counter the Trynd a little bit in top lane, but in mid lane it's really awkward to play things like Malphite, right? So it's tough to play a tank mid right now because your team won't have enough damage, and because of that, I think Tryndamere is extremely strong right now. Mm-hmm. And so if you get Trynd and you get an AP jungler like Talia, I think that's OP as fuck, and you just win the game. I think that's what happened in Cloud9's draft here, and you can't let that go through. I think Talia is super underrated right now.
What made Talia better? Because she was not in the meta for like a while, actually.
Well, she's been pretty strong as an AP threat early game, always. But AP game early threat hasn't been the meta for a long time. Now that there's so many OP AD mid and tops, you need a AP threat to round out the competition, right? Otherwise, you'll have all AD and people can just build armor against you. So because of that, Talia is now. People like Lilia better for some reason, but I think Talia is better than Lilia.
So how do you been thinking about Cloud9's games these past couple of days? Because now they're 3-0 after beating Galatasaray.
I think they have an amazing read on the meta. I think that they came with the right read to the meta, unlike in MSI where they had a completely wrong read of the meta. So I'm very excited because I think that the way that they're playing the game is exactly correct in terms of how they should be playing the game based on their team. And I also think it's actually the best way to play the game right now. So I'm very excited for C9 right now. My expectations for them will be that they're the third best team in Group A, but if they were in any other group, they would be the second best team.
They're going into the group of death if they play like this. Like their record, they'll get probably if they play like this and get automatically into the group stage.
Yeah,
right?
They're going to Group A. Yep, they're going to Group A.
Yeah, they'll go to Group A. Yeah, and that's the thing though is with the playing stage has always been something of debated of like, okay, does it really matter because of the caliber competition? But I think the playing stage is good for a team like Cloud9 that had a lot of issues in summer, and they can use the playing stage to fix them. Also, they would have gone to fix their issues from obviously boot camping. So
I'll put it like this though. I'll seriously put it like this. I think they're going to go 3-3 in groups, even if they get in Group A. And this is delusional C9 fandom talking, 100%.
Oh, I think they're getting out.
But no way. They're not getting out.
My bias fandom will work, Kafta. C9 second, though. I don't think they get first in the group. They will get second. I think Dam1 first, C9 second, FPX third.
Oh, no. FPX is getting first. FPX is getting first. 100%. I'm willing to bet I'll bet you $100 FPX.
You owe me $10 in RP.
Fine, do it. I'm in. FPX is definitely getting first.
To see if Dam1 or FPX get out.
Dude, in this meta, fucking Doinby is gonna clap kids so hard. Oh my god. I'm
I mean, this
actually
is his meta
genuinely
though.
worried.
Shit that's like off, like Trinamere and fucking Silas and shit. That this is what he thrives in.
Yeah,
Honestly, no,
exactly.
and you're right though. He's been waiting for a meta like this forever. Even when like 2019 Worlds, he was playing shit like Nautilus. Maybe like, going, what
And
the
the thing
fuck is
is,
that?
Doinby doesn't have the fucking ego of these other mid laners in his group, like Showmaker, who he's gonna fucking just pick Malphite mid if someone locks in Tryndamere against him. You know, like he doesn't need to lock in Oriana or Silas or something edgy to counter it. No, he's just gonna fucking sit there and whack your fucking ass with Malphite and out macro the fuck out of your entire team. So I can't wait.
What happened with this game when they took out? This was BYS. What did you think about this game? Because they stomped these guys too. It's just so odd seeing them stomp people because I haven't really seen them play this good in a bit, and I'm like, this is good.
Yeah,
Like, it's good to see
BYS
these
played
things.
really bad this game. I think if you go to the second blood, I think is the second blood?
Oh, the
No.
second kill.
Yeah. No, just go back like 30 seconds right there. Like, I don't understand. The Lilia pick is genius, but I don't understand what the fuck the enemy jungler is doing invading the top side of the map when that's literally the one place that C9 has an advantage with Lee Sin. Like, why is Graves trying to shit on the Malphite? It doesn't matter if you put Malphite behind. Malphite's Malphite. Play towards bot side. What you have an Amumu MF. Why are you not pathing top to bot? I didn't understand BYG's entire plan in playing two top. I thought the whole point of Lilia pick is to hard push the Malphite and just back off because you out trade the Malphite. So I didn't like the strategy from BYG, and I think they lost because of their lane prio.
Also, Lilia has come back too. Right?
That's dude. Remember what I said? Look at mid and top for both teams, and tell me who's the strongest AD carry. Yone, right?
Yeah.
So Yone is the strongest attack damage carry. So you have to pick an AP top or an AP jungler.
Come on, man.
Generally speaking,
full AD comps right there.
yeah. So generally speaking, Graves top and Lilia jungle would be better, but in this case, they locked in Malphite top, so they pivoted and said, okay, Lilia goes top and Graves goes jungle. So it was a good pivot by them, but it's not enough because now Lilia is the one getting a lot of the extra XP and gold, and Graves is not, which means Graves being behind. He's kind of a useless jungler right now.
Graves is pretty useless if he's not even like he can't be going.
He has to get very far ahead. Yeah,
he has to snowball too. That could be really effective.
And same thing with Lilia. So they actually create a really weird situation. I didn't, I didn't like the pick here. If I was BYG, I would have banned Malphite if this was my strategy. If I was picking Yone, mid, then I think you have to ban the Malphite. Otherwise, you take Graves and you go mid with Graves, and you pick Lilia jungle and you counterpick your top lane with an AP.
Because it just feels like they got hard draft gabbed. Like there's no way a Graves and a Lillian would ever be better in a 2v2 than a Lee Sin and a Malphite. I just don't see it though. Lillian's too squishy. Lee Sin kicks her in. Malphite just ults and kills with an instant 2v1, and then they already messed up early on having Graves dying, so Graves is already behind. They got hard draft gapped here. I don't see a world where their draft would ever like succeed unless Cloud9 completely just like starts shitting the bed in this game.
What I want to see is people try to ban either MF or Ezreal and see what happens. Because I think that if you ban the MF, you get a situation where you actually trade an OP AD mid or top for red side. So if you're red side, I would think about banning MF just so when they pick an OP AD, you get an OP AD as a counter. So like Graves and Tryndamere, I think you can swap on the two. Like if the other person gets Tryndamere, you get Graves. I think that's an even trade off, and then you get one extra OP pick on the red side. I'd like to see that. I don't know.
I want to show you guys this bronze level 1v1 this guy had against Chovy. Like Chovy is really good, but the fact that this would even happen is disgusting because this guy just his brain literally turned off. There's the OCE team that has Vizichachi on it. Let me actually bring it up right now. But I mean, the meta looks pretty exciting right now because I know the meta has been decently stale for a little bit. It's generally been the exact same thing outside of like the few changes every now and again. Like at MSI, we had Morg and Rumble Jungle, and outside of that, it looked pretty much the same though. Most of the year, everything looks generally the same though. I want people to go back. Most years of the meta look absolutely the same. Minus like when you get to like worlds and shit, right? And you have the odd pick here or there that works out. Like it's mostly just Orianna, Azir, Victor in the mid lane, or Syndra, give or take, Twisted Fate.
I fucking hate that. Yeah, I don't like the
same.
AP mids at all though. I don't think it's good in this meta. We'll see. I don't like Orianna. I don't like Azir. I personally think that you have to try to get a strong AD mid laner.
Look at this bronze level 1v1. Look what is Tally doing? And he has
see,
flash.
This is so illegal, dude. Chovy gets away with the most ridiculous shit because he's Chovy. Like, you cannot early kill a fucking Aurelia as an Azir. That's not allowed. That's illegal. This is so fucking
why was
illegal.
He greeting
dude.
why is he greeting for CS and he's like half health? What is that?
Yeah, I don't know.
He had a splash up too.
No, I don't want to see any Chovy replays, or it's just gonna enforce bad concepts on our listeners. Okay, this is some bullshit right here.
I don't know about the AD picks. Like, what are your options? Like, are you gonna go Graves mid, Draven? I mean,
Graves mid is really fucking good, dude.
I didn't say it wasn't, but that's
yeah.
That's
no. I don't think Draven. That's interesting, Draven.
Yeah, I saw Showmaker play Draven into Kassadin.
Interesting. I did not see that. Was that today? I didn't wake up early enough, I guess.
Oh no, this is solo queue. I've been paying attention with the pros been playing.
Okay, see, that's fucking ballsy as fuck because you're gonna get camped and you gotta really, I don't know. You can't make any mistakes the entire game. That's what I'll say on Draven. So I don't know about Draven, but Graves for sure is I think the second best laner. I think that he's slightly better top. What do you think?
What do you guys think about Hanwha Life besides Chovy?
What do you mean besides Chovy? That's their entire fucking team. What do you mean?
I mean, Def is like the
Def
ramen.
Def is really good against bad players.
Oh,
that's what
look at that! Look at great Def play right there. Good job, Def, being in the solo lane all by yourself with no support backup. And your support is the
best. Deft is the best player you could possibly have on your Clash team because he's like smurfing. But then against any good player, he's just gonna act like I don't understand. It's just a coin flip. He smurfed it in the playoffs. I'll give him that. Deft hasn't been consistent for a long time.
And that's the thing, though, is if you go back to one of these kills right here that they had, they got a 2v2 kill onto them. It just did what's down. If you look at this 2v2 kill right here, they outplayed them right here. That is disturbing. This is an OCE bot lane right there. I don't know about that, man.
They kept the MF up, which is not intelligent, but sure.
Yeah, I mean, like, but
okay, so Warren, you think MF is OP on red side too?
I was telling this. By the way, EO says hi. I was telling this. I was not expecting the. Again, I'm watching the solo queue, and I just recently, for the last, I think, 4 days, start seeing MF pop up, and she seems to be the pick, and I didn't see that one coming. I don't know.
Wait, MF has been fucking the pick for a while. I think she's very strong, but I think that, dude, I think MF Amumu is a bait. I think it's such a fucking massive bait.
I think Amumu is a bait. I think you're better off with Leona, even Rel still. I think. I mean, I
think
go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you can go ahead. Sorry.
I think what MF offers is she still scales. She's a team fighter, and can get away better than Aphelios, and just easier to execute, right? Like, there's not many good Aphelios players. So I think that's why you're seeing more MF, because it's like, okay, it's MF.
That's what I was telling. I was saying this to Nightwing earlier. I would like to see, if you're going to pick MF, I think you should ban Ezreal. That's what I was saying, because I think that if you pick MF and you allow the enemy team to pick Ezreal Leona, you lose. I don't think MF is good as a blind pick. Is my issue with how drafts have been going, because people seem to think that if you pick MF and then your second pick on red side is like any type of AoE like Kiana or or Amumu or something like that, you're good to go. But there are actually counters to MF. Like Leona ult counters MF, right?
You know what's
and if
also
Leona can roam
pick?
and sorry,
you know what's also a weird blind pick is Gnar. People just constantly blind pick Gnar.
Well,
that's what these minor region teams been doing. Why do they keep blind picking Gnar?
I think they're behind. I think they're behind. That's a terrible blind. I'd rather the blind
challenge anybody. Go watch these fucking garbage teams play. They keep
blind picking Gnar. Yeah, I don't want to even talk about that because that's just objectively wrong. Like that's just objectively wrong. I like let's move on past that.
Please,
but I think
please.
I genuinely think like if I was coaching any of these wildcard teams, what I would try to do is I agree that MF is a good band-aid for bad mechanics, and she can her ceiling might be a little lower than ADCs like Aphelios if you play her right around them, but I think her floor is really high. Even in like super competitive games like this. So I agree with wanting to pick MF plus an AoE champion, but I would first ban the Ezreal on red side. Because if you allow the Ezreal to go through, you can't actually dive the Ezreal. It's too safe, and he can 1v2. The Leona gets to go to the other side of the map and play for Rift Herald. And in team fights, Leona can just ult you when you ult, and it negates the entire pick. That's my take. I think MF is strong, but you have to ban the right champions first.
But I called it. I said Talia. I said it with my friend. I was like, "Oh, Talia Jungle's back."
Dude, fuck off.
He also said Cloud9 wasn't gonna be making out the groups either. So that's what you also said.
I said yes, Talia on my own. I didn't know about your fucking take, and I said Talia, so my fucking hidden OP. I called it first. Fuck off.
Oh my god. I don't think Cloud9's getting out of the group. This man literally said to me on stream. It's like, what do you?
I said that it could be depending upon how the minor regions played, but UOL just seems like they're not the same team without Gadget.
Gadget was actually really good. I don't know why they got rid of that guy. Gadget was their ADC in 2019. No, 2020. Yeah, 2020. Yeah. I thought Gadget was good. That was not the player they needed to replace. They got someone completely worse.
Yeah, this UOL looks weak.
Hot take. C9 just fucking finally got the meta correct, dude. Like I think that they were on a completely wrong meta thought process at MSI, and that's the last game I watched since I didn't watch a single game in the summer. So that's what I'm going off of, and I think that they finally got the meta right. Like they're actually playing the way that they need to play, and this meta actually suits them really well.
I'm a big Gragas fan, and I expect this champion to be abused a lot.
In the mid lane, actually?
He can be flexed in 4 roles.
Good.
I think he should be top. I think it makes sense for him to be top. I think he's only good if you have fucked up in your draft and you need a band-aid fix. I think he's really good because he band-aids a draft like what they have on the right here with MF and Kiana. I bet you that in this draft they picked MF, Kiana 1 and 2 on red side, right? Dude, and now you have so much AD and you have a lot of AoE, so now you have to round out a bunch of AP threats. And
Warren
I bet you
was
that
bitching about Jax for 4 weeks on this show, and they finally picked Jax.
But
I know Warren was coming in his fucking pants when they picked Jax. Don't you lie to me, you motherfuckers.
No, I'm not because I said that if they pick Aurelia, you should pick Jax. That's
Jax makes sense into Aurelia Tryndamere. He's absolutely right. Yo, but okay, can we fucking talk about the Sejuani pick? Like what?
Yeah, that was kind of odd. That was definitely. I was like, what?
That was
That's
season 8.
So troll, dude. That's so troll. It does nothing. Like they have such. Okay, listen.
Well, I mean, substitute. So right? You're ulting, and you have Aurelia go in, and you also have Karma shields to buff you up, so that makes you throw your ult faster. That's really not for anything, though. Like all you're providing is just a lockdown on one target, though. But Tryndamere can do it by himself, though.
No. Tank. I disagree that they shouldn't want a tank because Tryndamere is a tank. Like for all intents and purposes, Tryndamere is the biggest carry,
and
he's
solo
the tank.
champ. He's only had 2 wins so far.
I'm gonna lose my mind. I forget how tilted Warren makes me sometimes, dude. Oh, this is such a delusional take. I don't know.
First of all, let's be honest. First of all, Tryndamere is not. I would rather.
Tryndamere is the strongest champion in the fucking game right now.
I disagree.
It's not even close.
Graves is the strongest. Oh,
okay, Nightwing. Okay. What did I say before you got on? Please explain. What did I say was number 1 and number 2?
Don't put me in this.
I literally said my take on the best champion in the game is Graves. I mean, Tryndamere, and my number 2 is Graves.
Everything.
Oh, okay. So my take is I believe that Aurelia and Graves are the best. If Aurelia gets ahead and you know how to play her, she's very hard to kill. And Graves, which we should see him in the jungle. I don't know why teams, because he just really set up for Graves.
Wait, so why don't you think Tryndamere is good if you think Graves and Aurelia are good?
Well, Tryndamere and Aurelia have good wave clear, right? They can siege. I didn't see a lot of side laning much and roaming, believe it or not, on these Tryndameres.
What?
Like, to go for how many dives did you see go off with Tryndamere?
When you watch Chovy and Perks play Tryndamere, you didn't see them split pushing?
But it was very little. that's like it. And then today, did you see that Perks forgot to hit R? Am I?
Yeah. That doesn't have anything to do with the champion.
It's a simple ass champion. You're a pro player. That's hard to hit R. Like, are you kidding me?
He's trying to time it to get the maximum. Yeah, I agree that was a shit play and that was a dumb play. But I'm trying to explain to you, dude. If you like Tryndamere, if you like Irelia and Graves, there's no reason not to like Tryndamere because he's literally just a better version of both of those champions.
I get more utility from Graves than I do.
Wrong.
What? Smoke screens, sieging.
Let me explain a Tryndamere utility, okay? Tryndamere has this like passive that lets the enemy team get all to half health before he even does anything by just spinning through them twice, and then he runs away.
We saw what Gragas did, right? Like you can play if you just put Gragas in. There's other hard counter to Tryndamere. The reason I like Aurelia is because I have flexibility between top and mid. And I also have Graves, who I can put in the jungle too and top. And I saw Graves into Jace, what have you seen most Koreans play? Which Crazy has been playing. I think Crazy's Chinese. He's played Jace. Graves does well into Jace. So if someone decides to pick that, don't be surprised if you see Graves being picked into that champion. Because you don't want Jace going ahead, right? And that's why you have more flexibility. You have a team fighting champ.
So you're saying if HLE instead of Tryndamere had Graves, they would have won that game?
Chovy would have destroyed that guy. Even worse. They would have Graves would have been getting.
No. Tryndamere. Okay, listen, dude. If you look back at the draft, it was very clear why they lost. They had no AP damage. Okay, if they had an AP mid laner that could deal damage, AP jungler, yes. They should have gone with Talia, or even better. Let me tell you about even better option. Karthus. They should have gone Karthus and hit R. Just hit R.
Diana's still fine. You could use Diana.
No, you can't go. You can't go deep with Diana against that comp.
Look at when they had that fight, and could you imagine a nice R right there? That's they're dead. They're blown up.
Yeah, if Diana can get on them, but they wouldn't be able to get on them. They had too much peel.
Again, I just don't see. Well, one, I don't believe. I believe that this talent pick is atrocious, and I don't understand how it's getting these wins. So when I was watching solo queue, these pros are playing like, donkey crap. I just don't.
I agree with that take. I think AD junglers are very, very overrated. I think Kiana, Talon are both extremely overrated. I think AD mids are underrated as fuck. I think Tryndamere is the most broken champion in the game right now.
Oh, Lord. Just because you saw LS and Doinby, man, you need to stop that copium, dude.
What the fuck? What do you mean LS and Doinby?
Doinby started the Tryndamere. That's why it's
Doinby is also the best player at Worlds right now. So, yeah.
I don't know about that. Stop. You need to act like I'm still putting Xiaohu over Doinby, dude. Like, Like if you look at who he has
this is
around
the
him.
thing. This is the thing. Warren's take aren't delusional. He has an inkling of correctness here because Yahoo is actually very good. I agree with that. But when you say that he's better than Doinby, like what gives you the fucking right?
Okay, let's see. The man switches from mid to top and becomes
and he plays a less relevant role. Why does that make him better?
He Nuggery, and he's solo killed many of the top players in the LPL.
Everyone solo kills Nuggery.
Oh my lord! Now you're gonna go with that? Okay, let's see. Yahoo has
Yahoo's the best top laner in the LPL.
If we go
Yahoo is the best top laner in the LPL.
Yes.
Doinby is the best mid in the LPL.
Yes, but let's look at
mid is more important than top.
No, that is not true. Come on, dude.
Oh my god, dude.
Look how
you don't think mid lane is more important than top? I don't know what to tell you.
No, not really. Because look at the drafts. Like, what has been determining a lot of this stuff?
Look at the map.
Well, let's see. Okay, why I say Yahoo? Let's look at RNG, right? Crying is like a better Niski. Let's be honest about that. That's what Crying is. He's a better Niski. He's just a better overall, like, supportive player.
Okay,
right?
Every mid laner in the LPL is a better Niski. What's your point?
Gala is a good ADC. Ming is good. I would say Tien is better than Wei. So Xiaohu has less to work with, but his team plays around him. How many times have you seen the drafts in LPL have been focused around him, and he gets the win? Like,
dude, I literally said to MSK earlier that I believe that that team revolves and lives and dies by Yahoo. I completely agree with you. That doesn't change the fucking fact that Doinby is the best mid laner.
No, I'm gonna say, if you're gonna say mid laner, right now this year was Scout's year. I'm sorry, I like Doinby, good player, but he's
get me out. I gotta go. It was good talking to you guys. It was fun. I have to leave before I blow my mind.
Wait. So who won the LPL, Kofta? Let me know who won the LPL. Who had the better record in both in the spring and
my turn. It is mute.
And the summer split. Like, that's facts. That's not me being wrong. EDG went out good. Scout has been showing why he's still good, and he decked on Doinby on his own champions. Did you not watch that series, or am I crazy?
So what's your take on Group A? You think DK is gonna come out first?
That's a very hard game. That's very hard. I can't even predict that. No, I can't. Okay. I can't, because I think Nuggery's better than Khan. Showmaker and Doinby are pretty even depending upon styles. Tien, as long as LWX doesn't int, they can do well. It's hard. It's really hard. I just can't. Like, I don't know. Khan played better than before. I don't know what Koma did to his noodles, but he's just been much better. But I'm sorry, Scout is by far the best mid. Scout is by far.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna lose my fucking mind. If you don't think that EDG won because of their bot lane, I don't know what to tell you.
They won because of Flandre too. What are you talking about? They outbanned him. Did you not see this man?
Yes, of course. Yeah, no, I agree. But it wasn't Doinby's fault that they lost. Doinby did everything in his fucking power to win that game. He diffed Scout. He diffed Scout.
He dipped on him with his own champions. Did you not? He literally beat them with Rise. There's a reason why the series is 3-1.
We're gonna have to rewatch the first 3 games together so I can explain to you how jungle pathing works, bro.
I'm gonna explain to you how Scott had exceptional numbers and played really good that game. But sure, I mean, I'm
gonna lose my fucking mind here. I really do gotta go because I gotta go to bed and have a presentation tomorrow.
Go to bed? What?
Yeah, dude, it's 9 p.m. here.
He's gonna leave us and go to his wife. How could you leave us for a woman, man? What
dude, I'm not even in Chicago right now. I'm back in Philly. I got a presentation tomorrow.
Okay.
It's freaking 7 a.m. But yeah, dude, this was fun.
Head out too
it's fun to get back into esports.
Yeah, it's always fun, talking and debating about what's the better team. Hey, man.
Dude, I literally didn't get to watch Summer at all. Literally, the first series I watched, I kid you not, was C9 versus TSM. I'm just like, when are TSM's games at Worlds? When do they play?
They play next year.
I didn't see them on the schedule.
They play next year, but we don't know that yet because it hasn't been made yet. Yeah, they play the same time that G2 does next year.
Yep, same.
Oh shit, same time, nice. Okay.
Same time, they'll verse each other, and G2 will stick their large black dildo in TSM's raw white asshole. So
that's right.
Yeah. Could you imagine
a hot dog down a hallway?
Holy shit!
Could you imagine fucking reckless dating Lena? The amount of disgustingness that would go with that actually would be so hot in the same way.
What the fuck is going on? All right, I'm going to bed, dude. What the fuck is happening right now? All right, peace.
Yeah, guys, we're gonna head out of here. But Warren, I wanted to ask you this right before we head out. Is what have you been thinking about the playing stage so far, just for the first 2 days?
Oh man, seems like we predicted that the Group B is the most that can have the most fun outside of UOL. Vastly underperforming. Like this is.
I knew going in. I didn't see any of their games from the fucking season they played, and I was just based off MSM like this team's trash.
I was like, man, MSK was like, really.
They just look like trash. I was like, did anybody think differently? Fuck you. The team from Russia is UOL. Australia is Peace, right?
Peace, right.
Aren't they always dog shit? They're like always dog shit. Everyone's like, oh my god, they made group stage.
Turkey's
like,
been okay.
Turkey's always like the okay one. They're always weirdly on the cusp. And they did that big upset last year. And what's the team saying? Galatasaray? Like, it looks like they're not a bad team. It's just
but
like
they lost twice today, I think. So
that's the thing is like, it's just weird when you talk about minor region teams because the caliber of competition is always weaker for them. It's like their measuring stick for how good they are is always off compared to the region they're in. And if Unicorns of Love is winning both splits in that dog shit region, then I don't know what the fuck what are they smoking over there? Some fucking Joseph Stalin like meth or some shit? Like what is going on over there?
I don't know what Sheepy's doing. I mean, it's his organization because his UOL is run by him. So
yeah.
But the Group A is just we have predicted it. Hammer Life and
LNG top two.
Top two.
LNG be better because they have the better players in key roles.
I think
like
Ale, I think Ale is
for
LNG. He's probably. I don't expect him to be on LNG. I think the team's gonna pick him up.
He's actually really disgusting. That guy is insane.
Yeah,
that's the thing is they should replace. Oh my god, whatever the OC team, please replace your mid laner because there's no way on this earth that should be happening. That guy, how do you get in front of an Azir with full health? You have half your health, half your mana. You have flash up and you die.
You could have flashed.
No, I just don't get it.
You could have flashed. I don't know either. But we have one more day and then it's decided.
Yeah, I think so. No, is it 4 days of play-ins, right?
I think it's only 3.
What in the world is going on over here? These women are crazy these days. Come listen to my ASMR. Do you listen to ASMR when girls talking about it? This girl's like, "Are you interested in sexy ASMR?" I'm like, no.
I mean, I listen to it. I don't watch it.
What would you Why? Warren, help me, please.
Because I fall asleep. That's what I'm supposed to do. I don't care. I don't care about you dressing skimpy and talking like that's
what? You listen to sexy ASMR. Okay, maybe I need to, how in the world will that get me hard?
Not that one, but I listen to ASMR.
How in the world would sexy ASMR get me hard?
I didn't say I listened to that one. You listen to that one. I don't.
Okay, listen. But like some girl was like, maybe you might listen to sexy ASMR. I mean, maybe. I don't know.
I mean, I don't want to get into it. This is a league stream.
But yeah, guys, I'm excited. For the playing stage. Only when Cloud9 plays. That's the only really games I watch.
Yeah,
I watch
3-0 Hopium.
I don't need Hopium or Copium. I need severe crack. Cloud9 are getting out of Group A if they're going in. Second place is where they peak at. That's where they get at. Damwood's getting out over FPX. I'm still saying that. But no, if I'm being an unbiased fan, then Cloud9's probably getting third, 3-3. But
well, let's see. This should be. I mean, I don't know. This play-in seems less exciting than the MSI play-ins.
I feel like it's dead. I thought it was the only feeling I had. It feels kind of dead.
It's very slow.
Yeah, like, do you like the Laura interviews that she's been having?
I mean, all the players are taller than her, so.
I'd imagine she's like 5'3".
I guess what else she's good at with some knee pads.
She posted a picture, and then a lot of the guys were like, she had, and then she said this thing on her Instagram. She was like, I know a lot of people have been talking to me, and like they said a bunch of guys would be like DMing me. Well, I mean, if you post a half naked photo, I mean,
what photo? I didn't see it.
It was on our Instagram story a while ago.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, of course you're gonna have a lot of hot guys talking to you. She's a very attractive woman, so
yeah, she's not ugly.
That's just how it goes, though. I mean, if you're an attractive woman or you're an attractive guy like myself, a lot of girls just want to start coming after you.
Yeah, you just have to filter her out. That's kind of on her a little bit, but this this gonna sound weird. I'm more excited for the MSI, the group stage, because the playing just seems really boring.
It just feels dead. I don't know how to explain it, though. It just feels kind of dead. Usually, most years, it's decently exciting because you get to see League again. September's got nothing, so you're like, okay, we're seeing some games again. But the play-ins is just what everyone expects, though.
Well,
like,
I think...
when has play-ins not been what's expected, though? There's the one NA team, Clutch Gaming, were the only ones that were, like, losing to fucking shitty wildcard teams. And people are like, oh my god, NA is bad. It's like, to be fair, Clutch were like really, really inconsistent, so I understood why they lost. Yeah, it's like I understood why they would lose to wildcard teams, but
they went 0-6, but nobody says anything about them.
True, yeah. Like TSM goes 0-6, but that means the whole region NA was bad when Team Liquid almost got out of their group. Whatever, right? It's crazy. It's crazy to think about. But it's like outside of Clutch Gaming, who made the play-in stage for that group that year, like decently scary because they got upset by fucking Unicorns of Love. It's like Cloud9 and Team Liquid have done it, and they've pretty much always got out with no real issues, though. Most of the time for the play-ins, for any play-in stage, for MSI and Worlds, I know how it's going to turn out. It turns out every year the same. The better teams always win. Yeah, there's some upsets, but it's very... Outside of, like, Mad Lions upsetting, right? And the 1907 1907 Fenerbahce one from 2017. When has it really ever did anything, though?
Not much outside of Supermassive knocking out Mad Lions.
Yeah, 1907 Fenerbahce, Supermassive, and fucking, oh my god, there's another one I'm not thinking about right now. No, but they were in the play-in stage. 2017 had play-in stages first. Remember?
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Outside of like very few times, most play-in stages go the same. And now Cloud9's going to go into Group A. Yes! Where we can beat FPX and Damwon and Rogue and get first place in the group. Yes!
We'll see.
Can't wait till Cloud9 clap Damwon and FPX. That's what Perks should tweet. Perks should tweet, can't wait to clap Doinby.
I mean, he can't wait to do that Doom Patrol post with his butt open.
Raptor Doinby completely destroys him. Oh my god. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. I'll try and bring this show a bit more throughout the week when there's enough to talk about generally. We'll try and have one of these when the main group stage has all their teams figured out, or at least before the play-ins playoffs start, actually. But anything else you want to say, man, before we close out of this? Before we have sex backstage?
I hope that I just want Cloud9 to make it to the group stage. Like, $6 million Perks better make it. That's all I'm saying.
But Cloud9's going to get first in the group, 6-0. What are you talking about?
I mean, sure.
Now, there's enough crack in this earth for me to smoke. Do you think that's good enough for me?
Yes.
All right. Yep, guys, you heard it here first. Cloud9's getting first. Like I said before, guys, if I'm just being a fan, I think they get second place. If they play the way they've been playing, they would get second place. But then again, FPX should get out of the group with Damwon. And it sucks, though, because, Like, not everyone get together in groups. I wish fucking Riot would do double elimination. And I know my friend my friend, he was like, they can't do it. I'm like, why? Because there's too many games and like you'll tire the players out. Start Worlds a week in advance then.
I think they should get
a week in advance, you could do it.
I think they should get rid of so like when they do this, like put the teams and like instead of doing the group stage, have like the best of the teams match up in those groups. They drop down. So instead of you don't have the game now, it's just best of 5s. Once you get rid of the knockout stage.
Oh, I agree with you. Have the wildcard teams have a group draw show for them still. Do it the way they've been doing, but make it like a best of 5. The wildcard teams all play a best of 5. Those wildcard teams move on to another round, and then like the 4 of them that win those rounds go into the main group stage. There you go. I just saved you thousands and thousands of hours of time.
Well, what I meant, I think yours is different from mine. So I think you still keep the playing stage because you
keep the playing stage, but you match all the wildcard teams in best of 5s, and whoever loses is out.
It's hard because of the VCS not being there. Remember?
I would still include them in that too, or the one team that they would get in, the playing stage.
But my thing was that, like, after you slot the 4 teams in, instead of you doing these games of like, what's it like? They play. I forgot. It's like 21 games or something like that. I forgot the whole total. Just do best of 5s. Do like have someone do a draw show, and then you match them up. And now you're just starting. You have first round, second round, quarters, and they drop down. And like you're gonna see like a weird like path like this. Like, let's say it was FPX versus Cloud9, and then what's the other one? Damwon would go up against C9, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like whoever the winners from that, they move on into their slot, and then the 2 losers would now drop down, and then they would play the losers from the next group because they're gonna drop down. That's what. So you still
what I factored in too?
Yeah,
dude. Even like how for every year for Worlds, there's like a week gap between like semifinals and finals. There's just like a week until the games play on the weekend.
Right.
There's your time there. Just move the actual finals. It's either you start Worlds a week in advance, or you simply just upscale the weeks. Though that's all you got to do. Or you either move it up a week, take out the play, adjust the playing stage. All you have to do is just make them either best of 3s or best or whatever. Draw them into groups where they play best of 5s. The best teams move on and play within the group itself. Or maybe NA teams go through that too. Like each day have a best of 5, like Cloud9 versus fucking Galatasaray, best of 5. Whoever wins of that fucking goes into like Group A or some shit. Like they need to figure out how to make the playing stage less time consuming though. That's all it is. If you make the playing stage less time consuming, you can have double elimination. I don't care what players say. Oh, I don't care what anybody says. Oh, they don't have time for it. Yes, they have fucking time for it. You literally have. There's like a week gap between semifinals and finals. I was like, what are you talking about? But
yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. They'll never have double element anyway. I think double elements is better for Worlds in general to see like who's the best team. But I get it. Maybe it is time consuming because you have the off season, which is like the next month. But it's like if you started a week in advance, it's not that bad. You're ending a week before November starts. You're still getting 2 months off. It's not like you're not getting 2 months off. If you start a week in advance, you have your time. But the LEC for next year confirmed to be coming back in like January 14th, 16th, something like that. So yeah, man, got a lot of shit to do after Worlds. Well, generally after Worlds, there's world content to do, but like after Worlds, it's gonna be off season. Oh my god, off season is so busy. Trying to get fucking rumors and confirms, and this is confirmed, and this is confirmed. Then after that, the season starts again. Right as December ends, the season starts. Like 2 weeks into January, because the LCS does lock in now. So that's gonna be thrown right back into it.
Yep.
And Cloud9's gonna win Worlds, right?
So have a good show, guys.
See you guys later. Like, comment, subscribe, most of all, enjoy. See you guys. I'll try to have another show throughout the week, depending on how like my work schedule goes and how Worlds plays out. We might have a show when all the games play out. Remember, like when playing stage like finishes, right? And we get to like best of fives, I think I could squeeze a show in. I think I can. That way we can like talk about the play in group stage, the way it played out, and then talk about the best of fives and predict for them. But all right, guys, see you guys later. Goodbye. There should be another show this week. There should be, but yeah, sorry about the general lack of content. I was just generally just taking a break because league years are very, very grindy. I'm just saying that, like, not having time off from like both channels. I'm not like burned out, but just I want to put an effort to what I put into, and if I'm tired, I can't put in a full amount of effort into what I'm talking about, then all my takes would look like trash. I'd be saying shit like, oh my god, like a fucking
you're gonna take some trash already.
Like Team Liquid would win Worlds and shit like that, or 100 Thieves have a better bot lane than EDG, some shit like that,
Yeah, if I have a gun to your head, sure.
Or Nate Shot's giving you millions of dollars in hot women.
Okay, so yeah, we'll see you guys soon.
Yeah. Hopefully soon this week or earliest next week. But I do want to always make sure you guys are happy and satisfied with how sexy I am. No?
Okay. This is why he's wearing a G2 jersey.
Hey, man. G2 plays the same time next year as TSM does in January.
I'm okay with that. NA low. I'm okay with that.
All right, guys. Peace. See you guys later this week or earliest next week. If there's any news that pops up, I will drop that information. But yeah. All right, guys. Goodbye.